again like to congratulate all the inductees, although I think of inductees as maybe some medical term. And I'd like to recognize part of my family here, Susan, my wife, my son Teddy, who flew in from California, who just spoke. My son Dale came from Boston with a friend, and my two nieces and their families who came in from as far away as Elgin and Hartford. I haven't lived in Elgin for 50 years. I probably date all these people by about 30 years as far as inductees. But I do want to, whoa. Whoa! Have I used up my 5 minutes yet? Well, that's too long. I want to remember Elgin as a great place to grow up. And again, I'm dating myself back, but I look at so many of the people that have been inducted. And they were people that were heroes and people that I admired. And one, again, who probably isn't in the Hall of Fame, who's not here tonight, Dave Covey, was in the 9th grade at Larson when I was in 7th grade. And he and Hank Leach were both best friends, and they were some of my real heroes. I remember Elgin as being a really great place to grow up. Educationally, we had great teachers. We also had outstanding athletic programs and coaches, and people that were to be admired for that. At that time, we looked around a little bit tonight, and again, I haven't really been around here much in 50 years. But at one time, we came back a few years ago, and Elgin was really on a downslide. But we drove briefly around today and saw the improvements, so I think that Elgin is really moving forward. I don't really want to talk about swimming accomplishments. I want to talk a little bit about some of the anecdotes or stories that I remember from 50 years ago. Where we did our swimming was the Elgin YMCA, and I'm not sure how many of you are old enough to remember the old one on Chicago Street. But our pool was 20 yards long and 20 feet wide. And it was 4 lanes with no lane lines. And it had 2 ladders which stuck out into the pool itself and a pipe down in the shallow end. So it was kind of a dangerous thing to be a competitive swimmer. And I was a butterflyer. And when you had 5-foot wide lane lines, it was quite probable that you were going to get smacked in the head or you were going to smack somebody in the head also. And one I really remember, diving was quite an adventure. The pool was 7 feet deep, and they held competitions. And I remember more than one time, a doctor had to come to attend to a diver who either hit his head on the bottom or hit his head on the ceiling. And it was basically a plank. But it was a neat place. And I can remember also the pool was kind of dank and dark and whatever, but right next to it was the horseshoe pit. And I can remember as a kid going in and watching Frank Breen pitch ringer after ringer. And I also remember I loved to play basketball. I wasn't very good because I was not tall enough. But the court of the YMCA was a very short court, but it had a running track around the outside above, which was banked. And I can remember going and watching Glenn Losey play basketball, who was a great player. And I remember nobody shot shots from the corner because if you shot a shot from the corner, it would hit the track. So it was quite interesting. It was a great place. That's where I learned how to swim. My brother, who was an All-American swimmer, and also in the Hall of Fame, won his first ribbon for a race walking across the shallow end. And I remember also that my mother got us into swim lessons at the Y because my brother, who was an All-American swimmer, almost drowned when he fell into the Fox River. And basically somebody reached in the pool and saved his life. And that was the start of our swimming careers in Elgin. I do want to say something, maybe regrettable or not, and I never really thought about it that much. I looked at the biographies of the people who were in the Hall of Fame, and I remember so many of them. And one thing I noticed that before 1972, there were only 4 women who had athletic experience before they went into the Hall of Fame here. And that's out of 153 that they had on the website. And I thought about this, and then I reflect back on my own growing up. We didn't have phys ed in grade school. I went to Washington School, grades 1 through 5, and I went to Sheridan for 6th grade. We had recess, which was the great democratic place. The kids set the games, they had their own rules. And the thing I remember so much is, so many of the girls were really outstanding athletes. They were just as good as we were. But then I went to 7th grade at Larson, and then the divider came down, and the girls had gym classes on one side, the boys had gym classes on the other. And there was absolutely no sports for girls. And in stupidity, we just thought that girls didn't want to compete, or that they had some other interest that overwhelmed whatever they wanted to do in sports. And then you had the classic term of a girl really wanted to compete and was aggressive. You know what they called her, right? A tomboy. One of the most despicable phrases that I've ever heard. And I had the chance to coach some really, really outstanding women swimmers, national qualifiers, whatever. They were fine people, they were very competitive, they were good citizens, and I think what a terrible mistake we made for so many years before Title IX in 1972 to cut them out of all these opportunities. If you weren't really pretty, if you weren't a cheerleader, if your parents weren't rich, you had very little chance to really show off. And I think the sports would have given the girls that chance, but for so many years it never happened. And now you look at all the athletic achievements that girls have and look forward to, the scholarships, the chance to be part of something, and I think we were really foolish not to have that when we were growing up. So my apologies to all the women in this room that never had that chance, and success, congratulations to all the young people now that we've heard who have done so well in athletics. And just one last one on that. My wife grew up in this era where there was no sports for girls. And Teddy and Dale and I would go out and we'd shoot baskets and do all the things that boys do. And she always felt left out because she never had that opportunity to learn those things from being on a team. So I think it's so great now that women now have equal opportunities to do those things and really shine and showcase. So I say thank you and congratulations to all the inductees again.